What's up, guys? Alex Leybaaaaa back here again for another trailer review. And if you guys know me, you know that I have, been highly anticipating this movie and highly anticipating this trailer. And today I have a very special guest. His name is Mark, and he is from the channel Reel to Reel Productions. He has two channels, one for mainly anime and the other for movie discussions. And please, guys, definitely check both of his channels out. He does really well thought out, in-depth discussion videos on movies and anime. I was actually in two of Mark's videos. One was about what we think John Kramer's role is going to be in Jigsaw, and another one was about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he is a huge Saw fan as well. So what we're going to do is go through the trailer and, giving our, in-depth thoughts about it. What did you think about the Jigsaw trailer?
Oh man, oh my gosh, like almost everything about it was just so amazing in my opinion. I loved everything about it. I had been so excited for this movie ever since it was initially announced. Even when they were back talking about it in 2014, I was just ready, my body was ready. And honestly, this is better than I could have hoped for. From what we've seen thus far, I'm not necessarily seeing anything. I'm reserving judgment, and I guess we'll talk about this later on some of the worst things about this trailer. I'm reserving judgment because I don't think it really matters that much. I've seen a lot of people complain about a certain few things that we might talk about later. But yeah, in that sense, what are your thoughts?
I really liked it as well. I really like the look of it. The cinematography looks really good. I really like the vibe and look of the movie. We both really like the music choice in it. You really like the music choice, right?
I did, because if you've been a fan of these films for as long as I have, you probably heard most of the soundtracks for most of the films, and it's usually this grunge, really hardcore, really depressing type of music, and I just never really thought that really fit John Kramer's vibe. The guy's a little bit older, he's a little bit more educated and just kind of worldly. I just imagine him kind of listening to the music that he grew up with, and one thing I really like about this is it fits a really unique tone where it's really lively, but the lyrics are really kind of dark. And I think that works so well with the feel of this movie. I don't know how they're going to progress the story or where they're actually going to start it is the key.
I've talked about this before. Are they just going to completely ignore, Hoffman and Dr. Gordon? I mean, especially, Dr. Gordon. I always thought that, in order for a Saw 8 would work, I always thought, they would have to explain the, mistake they made at the end of Saw 7 and sort of, make up for that. I always thought, the only way for the movie to work is if, he would be in it, but, there's no returning cast members in the film besides John, and, I don't know. I just wonder how they're gonna... if it's just going to be a mention.
There's two ways to think about it. One, or a couple ways. One, they don't mention it at all. There's a lot of people who think that that's going to be terrible. Oh my God, how you can't possibly do that? What happened to Dr. Gordon? What happened to Hoffman? Hoffman's done. Hoffman is super done unless they retcon it some way in any future film to indicate that, yeah, somehow he got out of the bathroom. But even if he did take the broken thing or toilet lid like Eric did and basically destroy his foot and get out, Dr. Gordon probably locked that door. Zepp had to actually unlock it. You hear him unlock it in the first film. They couldn't get out. They make that very clear. You can lock that door from the outside, so obviously he's not getting out of there, and I don't think that they've actually found that place. For whatever reason, they haven't found that place yet. It's been a decade. He's done. But the way the trailer basically begins, it implies that there's a trap, or at least a couple traps that we haven't seen. Do you want to jump into this? Start breaking this down and dissecting?
Yes.
I love the look and feel of this movie. Right here, this opening establishing shot that it gives us, this is already bigger than any other previous Jigsaw films have ever done. They're literally showing us the world here. And I believe, I'm going to go off on a limb. I don't necessarily know, but this looks like Toronto where they filmed the other ones. It's really awesome to me that we have a nice, clean, crisp movie right here, where all the other ones were kind of blanketed in blue tint, green tint, red, all this other stuff. And one of the things I love about this being absolutely clear, Claritin clear right here, is the fact that Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years. And as the movies really went on, at least in the original three, the first one, the second one, the third one, it just got grimier and dirty looking and kind of blanketed in a more harsh light. and then he died, and you felt that kind of same blanket go with the reds and blues in Saw 4, and then Saw 5 was a little bit more mellow, Saw 6 was a little bit more mellow, and then Saw 7 was, because of the 3D, a lot, like, very mellow in terms of the color palette. And I always thought, like, you know, John died, and this whole world, no matter what it is he's dead, or he's here, and we're all just living in his world, but now he's dead. He's been dead for a decade, and we actually get to see the world as it really is. It's a bright, vibrant place.
Interesting way of putting it.
Now the game's simple.
Here it's kind of bizarre. Like, I wonder how this dude, like, there's a guy hanging from a tree right here. We don't see what's holding him up. So, like, it could be, I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't kill himself. It could be a trap. I just don't understand, like, how a trap could be, like, in the trees.
So you don't think that this is a trap? You think that this was intentionally put there to become a public display?
That would be interesting to see how exactly, like, that would be executed, you know, a trap way up in the trees.
Play by the rules.
Cool, a Twisted Pictures logo.
and you know what's interesting about that? Lionsgate has really gotten away from the grimy horror intros they used to have. It used to be like this little Easter egg where their horror films had the opening of the gates. It looked like you're in hell versus all the other stuff looked like you're in heaven. It looks like they've gotten rid of that.
I never noticed that. Yeah, like it's heaven and hell. Like I noticed the two different intros, but I never thought of it that way. That's interesting.
I just think it's weird that they got rid of that. What are your thoughts on the buckets?
It seems very, you know, reminiscent of Saw 5. It looks similar, basically. I think it looks pretty cool.
Any identification on the victim?
This is the guy we saw on top of the tree. I'm pretty sure.
Puzzle piece.
But Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years.
It's not him.
Confirmation that Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years. Help me do this math.
From Saw 1 to Saw the final chapter, it's about, like, what, a year and a half, would you say?
No, let's just put it at, like, October 18th, 2014. Or 2004, I mean. Then 6 months after that, you have Saw 2. March or April. And then 6 months after Saw 2, you have Saw 3. You're knocking on the door of 2006.
Can't be.
This was on the body.
Thoughts on this?
I wonder where he found the chip. Like that person, you know, will somehow play into the plot and, like, have something to do with the overall, like, you know, John Kramer's story.
Right here, it looks like he has a message for the police. Like, straight up, John Kramer messing with the police, doing his thing.
The truth will set you free.
And I wonder how they're going to play that off. Like, these are actually John's messages, or is it just a really good technology like Hoffman had? So this is what we were talking about, the bucket and the thing that looks similar to the head cutting off trap or whatever you call it from Saw.
I noticed the plot hole here, though. They could just cut the chains with the saws.
Here it starts pulling in. You have all these saws that are going to kill them. What do you think, that these are bombs?
I think, I mean, that was my first thought, you know, when I first saw it. Like, I think they could be bombs.
Maybe, like, if the chains are cut, the
And then
bombs
they'll
will go
blow
off.
up.
Yeah.
You're right.
Got a return of the classic tape recorder.
Will Jigsaw ever go digital? I mean, I don't think he ever will.
Well, he did. He does. Like, the TV went digital in Saw 3D, and it went digital this time, too. This whole little sequence here is really reminiscent of Saw 2.
Chasing a dead man.
Very reminiscent. You got the industrial thing with the freight elevator.
It looks similar to the one that Eric and John went down at, like, toward the end of Saw 2.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting if it's the same place.
That would just be amazing if they go to literally the same locations, because like every Saw film besides the first one was filmed in Toronto. So like this film was made in Toronto too. So like it would be easy for them to find the same locations and go to them, you know what I mean? Because they're all filmed there, you know. Like that would just be amazing if they actually went to you know, some of the same locations, like the Gideon warehouse. Like that would be amazing.
I think this is where we find all the homage, whether it's someone recreating the traps or for somehow, because, you know, the plot synopsis says, oh, is it someone in the police department? As we saw in Saw 3D, the police department has these traps. you know, they had him in the evidence room.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's I wonder if they think it's someone from the police department because they've taken these traps that they had in the evidence room, or they're just recreating.
Maybe. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. It's cool. I noticed that immediately. The gun.
So you
trap
have
Saw 2.
You have the gun from Saw 2. This is the angel trap that Carrie was in as well. That looks like somewhat of the same thing as the beginning trap from Saw 2.
Maybe that's the person's lair. He's collected every single trap from all the movies, and they're all right here because we see the reverse bear trap in a minute.
He's the copycat.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's the same one Amanda was in, and that same one.
It looks a little different. Like, I personally think it's somebody putting this stuff together, like remaking it, learning from the master. I think that this is John. He has work clothes on. That's obviously not like a police officer who's looking at this stuff. They do this to trick you. The police officer's looking at it, so you just imagine that these scenes take place at the same time. So Pig Mask is back.
Cool.
I think that this is John as well.
I wonder why the blood's coming out of his eyes, though. Did he get, like, stabbed in the eyeballs or something?
What's going on here?
Did she, like, escape? She tries to escape. Oh, I'm gonna drive this motorcycle. And then she gets hit by a truck and dies. Maybe it, like, shoots them out of the thing, like when they're on the motorcycle with they're tied, and, like, it just, like, floors it until they crash into something. I don't know.
I don't know who this is, just based off of like who I know is in the cast. These scenes are the most provocative and probably the ones we're going to be talking about the most because they're just kind of outplaced. This girl might be the girl we were talking about earlier.
She was wearing different clothes though, so maybe they showed, maybe like that's her, but they showed flashbacks to show her backstory. She looks kind of like a prostitute because she has like
the leggings.
The leggings.
So we saw the motorcycle, the guy get hit. I think it's this guy right here. Maybe they force him to get on the motorcycle. I don't know. With the shotgun. I don't know.
You know what happens if we don't follow the rules. The blood under the fingernails of our victim, John Kramer's.
I strongly believe that that's John because like she mentions, John's
Jigsaw.
name.
A couple things I don't understand about here is he's wearing 2 rings. I don't know why.
Maybe remarried.
Maybe remarried. I don't know.
No, I don't think he would do that. He loved Jill more than anything.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know why this bothers me. Maybe we didn't ever get to see his head to the degree, but like when he was younger, when they did these films originally, he actually did have, although balding like he is now, not this bald. And I'm wondering why they let that, like, these movies are really good. I wonder why they let that slip.
Good with their, like, really tight continuity.
But the only reason I don't know if this is John or maybe this person right here.
Maybe this is a flashback to where, like, the person, like, one of the people at the end of Saw the Final Chapter in the Pig Masks, like, him talking with, the other apprentice, whoever it may be. I don't know why he's taking a picture of him.
This is a new theory. This is actually cool. What if John isn't really in a flashback in this movie?
I don't know.
Like, okay, what if John is a stand-in for the guy who's watching this happen? Because they're sending messages through the body, all these SIM cards and everything. All this stuff's breaking down. What if John isn't necessarily in the movie? What if there's no flashbacks? And what if there's no connection to anything going on? But this guy who is the detective going on, he sees through his eyes in kind of a Hannibal way, like what's going on, and he just pictures John doing all this. This guy, and the tagline is saying, become Jigsaw. It's become Jigsaw. Someone is trying to copy Jigsaw. And in order to be Jigsaw, in order to be John Kramer, they would visualize and do everything they can to become him. So instead of, he doesn't know what the new guy looks like or the new girl looks like, he knows what John Kramer looks like. And he imagines and walks through this stuff like it was John doing it.
That's an interesting theory.
The Jigsaw killer.
That's impossible.
I love this.
It was a game.
What is this? Because It looks like they fall onto these things and it tightens these wires around their feet. They're in the grain silo. Whenever the grain starts, the bottom collapses.
Game's gonna be won. It's Jigsaw.
The cops right now are in the barn. So, like, what does this mean for the timeline of the movie? I don't know. Could this potentially be, I don't know how it would work,
one of the other motorcycles?
What are your thoughts on the new Billy design?
I knew that they would change it up a little bit. I really like the new look of the new Billy.
I love this, reminiscent of Saw 1.
No, it's not creepy at all.
A nice situation with humor. I like it. This is the night shot I was telling you. This is the only shot I see at night.
They show crap loads of traps. Like, wow, there's a lot of traps. It looks like it has more traps than Saw the Final Chapter. And, you know, that had the most amount of traps and the most deaths out of all the Saw films. So, like, this one looks like it's definitely going to top that.
Mm-hmm. This is the one I think is getting the most criticism. I'm reserving judgment.
I don't know about that one. I mean, like, it looks cool.
It says Saw, and then it goes to Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I like that.
I noticed that. That's cool. In the entertainment department, it looks like it's going to be really good. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of action. I thought that they would put in the Charlie Clouster's new musical score, like, in the trailer, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, because, like, I do want to wait for, you know, the actual movie, you know, like, his score and how, you know, awesome, you know, it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an incredible score, because, you know, he scored every other Saw film.
We kind of dissected that as much as we could.
Tell us down below what you thought of the trailer, and just, you know, like, if you have any theories or anything, like, we'd love to hear them.
I'm going to be stalking your comment section right now just to kind of see what people are saying, really. Anyway, then, thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime.
I'm sorry. I can make this really long-winded. Like, I could just talk about this franchise like all freaking day.
Me too. So yeah, dude, thank you so much for, you know, joining me for this Jigsaw trailer breakdown. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Down below in the comments, tell me what you thought of the Jigsaw trailer. Be sure to subscribe to Mark from Real to Real Productions. He also has a second channel called Real Talk. Please give him a sub on both channels. His links will be down in the description below. All right, guys, I'll see you later.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me on, man.